Welcome to the Ages of Rock podcast with your hosts Bill Algie, Dennis Talbot, and Alan Tate. We are three guys who have one thing in common, a love of rock and roll. Our goal is to talk about all things rock. We hope you find this show intriguing, funny, and occasionally highly opinionated. Enjoy! Hey, we're live!
What's happening?
Phil Shouse, Bill Algie, Dennis Talbot, and Alan Tate coming live to you on the Ages of Rock Facebook page.
Cool. I just got a notification saying that we're live, so it's working.
Hey.
So I'm going to turn it down.
Well, what you need to do is you need to share that and say, do a watch party or something.
I do.
Yeah.
There we go.
I was on Phil's page waiting to do that, but I got to get on my own page now.
Yeah, but it would just seem. I think it's going to be best from yours. It's going to sound and look better. So
cool. Look at that.
We're here putting the us in virus.
There you go.
It's better than putting the men in menopause.
Exactly. Menopause. I've had that.
Menopause. Cheers.
Yes.
All right. So we are actually all in a quarantine situation. We're all hunkered down. We're doing our social distancing as far as we can because, we're all, at least Alan and I are the closest, and we're only about 12 miles away. So we're
really even practicing social. We're doing social media distancing. Even we're so good.
He doesn't know math. I'm like 4 miles from him.
It's more than that, isn't it?
No.
Maybe.
I'm only like 185 miles. So you're probably closer to Phil than you are to me.
Philip's only about 2 hours from us, so he's in Nashville.
Hey, Phil, check it out.
I heard things in Nashville. You guys all.
Hey, nice.
Oh, look at that.
Appropriate shirt tonight.
And it's Tuesday night, too, so perfect.
Oh, that's right. I didn't even think about that. That's pretty cool.
Yay.
Pretty cool.
I'm wearing my Mesker Amphitheater shirt, which is our old amphitheater who our mayor decided it's not worth fixing up, motherfucker. Nice. But anyway.
We had one of those too. It's called Starwood.
Starwood. I saw Kiss.
It was going to be developed, and it's still just it's a field now. It's overgrown, and that's
the way Mesker is. I took my son to see Kiss.
It's a pretty nice place to see it.
I took my son to see Kiss at Starwood back in 2004. When they toured with Poison and ZO2.
Poison. Yep.
Well, and our town was the fact of, we had to tear down Robert Stadium so fast because they wanted to build something else there. And, and Robert Stadium at the time in this book was tied with Madison Square Garden for as many times as Kiss played there. Wow. And at that point now, it has been torn down. They have the new Ford Center. Kiss has never been back to our town, and that lot is still a grassy field that they still mow.
Mm-hmm. They have big plans. They go away. Yeah, exactly.
So it's Robert's municipal yard.
That's horrible.
Yeah, it's yardium. Right. And the funny thing was, Philip, the first time I ever met you in person was at the Kiss at Gene's Vault in Nashville.
Vault experience, yeah.
And we went down there, and I met you that day. You guys came in and played. You were there, and Jeremy was there, and then Ryan came in later because he was on the cruise.
Yeah,
and
Jeremy
then
and
I
Ryan
think
were on the Kid Rock cruise.
Right, and then E.T. came in and played bass for a couple songs until Ryan and them showed up that day. Yep. But anyway, the funny thing was, whenever I met you that day, we were sitting around, and but when I went to meet Gene, I said, I'm from Evansville. Well, I didn't know Evansville, and he goes. And I go, I said, you used to play Robert Stadium all the time. He goes, that's not a stadium. I'm like, in typical Gene form, he's got to, he has to explain to me what a stadium is. It's not a stadium. It's an arena.
And also, I'm surprised he didn't remember Evansville. Like, we've all seen the handwritten lyrics from so many Gene songs from the Holiday Inn in Evansville, Indiana.
Yeah.
And so that he didn't write them all there. He took that with him and just wrote all those lyrics from a certain time period. They're all on that little pad of paper.
Holiday Inn, Evansville, Indiana, 41, Indiana. which now is basically a apartments for flop. It's a flop house apartment right now.
Okay.
Yeah, it's so. But I can point them out.
Gene stayed in it and then left it a mess, so they had to turn
Exactly.
it into something.
Exactly.
You know, it could have been Graceland, but now it's just a shithole. So,
Yep.
So we've got our first viewer comment. Shane Olson says, "Hey Phil."
Who says that?
Shane Olson.
Hey Shane, how are you? Hope you're doing as well as one can during these times.
Yeah, I got a comment from Bill Elam. He says, "Hey Joe." Oh,
Hey,
he must be And then Joe Polo. Look at all those good-looking dudes and Alan.
Oh.
Look at all the people here tonight.
Joe's been held up way too long. Joe has been held up way too long. Whenever he says we're good.
Well, now in Joe's defense, he did have to put up with me for a week on the Kiss cruise.
Oh, were you guys cabin mates?
No.
Okay, good. Okay, cool.
No, but we did hang out 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
That's
all
funny.
right. For
Alan,
anybody,
was that your first cruise, Alan? Kiss cruise?
That was my first music cruise and the first cruise that I ever took without my wife.
Okay, and your first Kiss cruise.
Yes.
And first music cruise. Yeah. Wow, cool. Okay, good.
I want to go on the rock cruise.
The Monsters
cruise. Yeah, I want to go on that.
That's a hell of a lineup. The one coming up in February. Alice is on it.
My God, it just keeps going. You just
it's
scroll and scroll. I got a cramp. It's like
that's a heavy lineup, man. That's a good one next year.
That's pretty cool. Pretty cool. What are you up to, man?
Alan,
what's going on?
Man, my day-to-day honestly hasn't changed that much. I'm pretty much like in my apartment learning songs anyway. It's just the forced, the forcedness of it. It's just like, no, you can't leave and you can't get everything you need at the grocery store. And that's kind of weird. I've had no official cancellations really for my spring and summer, but it's all international. So I don't really feel that positive about it happening. Scheduled is in late April, doing Japan with Accept, and then back here doing 3 shows at the East Coast with Accept, and then late May through July doing European festivals with Accept. So, although we've had nothing officially canceled, I do have to say I'm not that optimistic. So
they are coming to the East Coast?
Scheduled.
Okay.
I know M3 is on there. Place in Long Island. And place on Long Island, and then Jim Thorpe, Pennsylvania. So we do have those 3 shows scheduled. Again, we'll see. Who knows?
Cool.
Who the heck knows?
Yeah, I watched a live thing with Christopher Williams the other night. He went live, and him and 3 other guys were in a studio. I can't remember where they were, but it was cool. They were like just text us a request, and they were just playing all kinds of stuff. I watched it for about 45 minutes. It was pretty neat.
Yeah, a lot of folks, they're doing that. Richie Faulkner from Judas Priest is going live on Instagram every couple of days and just kind of playing classic rock songs and answering questions. And, I think it's just I don't think it's anybody's like doing self-promotion. I think it's just like us trying to stay sane and like, hey, through this, technology, we can all hang out together like we're doing now. So we can all, don't have to be completely alone. I know that's a heavy thing for a lot of folks, but it isn't as bad as it could be.
Well, I've tried to get friends to do some social distance drinking, so we did that over the weekend a little bit. So that's worked out pretty well.
I think I'm hanging out with Izzy Presley later on, doing just that.
That sounds like fun.
Later on tonight.
Got a couple.
I did watch you. It's been a few days where you did your Margarita Day. Had a little thing on your nose, and you're out there in the sun.
Yeah, there's a lot of sun. It was pretty bad. I think I must have got sun poisoning that day because I woke up feeling horrible. I know it wasn't a hangover. Had to be sun poisoning. So, yeah, that was the last one of those. That was fun, though. Made some good margaritas.
Sounds like fun.
Exactly.
We got a couple of more comments here. Chris Vickery says, "What's up, Phil? Hate that last week's rock and roll residency show was canceled." And Shane Olson says, "All good here in Australia. Hope you guys are all doing well in these times." Thank you, Shane.
Very good. Thanks, Shane.
And anybody that's watching, Dennis's camera is having an identity crisis, and his picture keeps coming on and off. So.
Oh no, he's clearing mine on my end. So yeah,
Yeah, at the moment.
strange.
Yeah, he's got a virus.
And I have one. I have Philip in mine, and I have no Alan and no Bill. So I don't know what's going on. It's
Yeah,
on my. I told my
So
son
weird.
to get the hell off the internet. So I'm sure everybody, of course, right now everybody is streaming everything. So the internet is
Everything.
like, I mean, it's just like the interstate highway now. Everybody's like on the interstate going, blah, 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 So
Yeah.
I mean, if you get through, it's amazing. So anyway, I will try to reboot here in a second.
I've had pretty good luck with my T-Mobile data plan, or is it data? What's plural? Is it data or data?
Yeah.
I forget exactly. I've had pretty good luck with my. I've had pretty good luck with that. So, it's been pretty reliable. So thanks, T-Mobile.
This is where the IT guy comes in here. Data is plural. Datum, D-A-T-U-M, is singular.
Yep. You're welcome.
Or I got that backwards, and somebody's going to show me I was wrong.
Actually, I see
it was just
good now again. So
I thought
sorry.
it was just pronounced different. I thought it was data and data. I don't know. That's like my Commodore 64 days. So that's going way back. That's my Oregon Trail days, going way back to Oregon Trail. So
you have
I had
died
the
from
Commodore.
dysentery.
Exactly.
And I had the Commodore 64C, which was the compact that was actually the first laptop. The front screen moved down, had a keyboard on it, a 3-inch screen, 5.5 floppy drive, and you had this thing called Zork. It was like it was all print, and you had to like follow around, and you had to make maps and shit. I mean, it was like, but I was like thinking, look at this shit. I'm fucking high tech.
It was incredible.
It was.
I mean, the Apple IIe
Oh,
followed that, I think, right? But yeah, I remember I had all those in school, and we, that was the hottest thing.
That's insane.
We have a listener question or a viewer question.
There you go.
Chris Vickery wants to know how big a kick it was playing with the Goon Squad.
Oh, that was a blast, man. That was a lot of fun. Because Chuck we know real well, and we kind of through Chuck know the other guys in the Alice band. Yeah, that was a hoot, man. That was a lot of fun. We didn't know we were going to do Schools Out with everybody, so that was a lot of fun. Yeah, I think Bullet Boys opened the show that night, I think. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. That was cool. So thanks
and
to
the
those
Bullet
guys
Boys are a loud freaking band.
They are great. Yeah.
And that was the non-reunited Bullet Boys before that, but they opened that show. And then I only thought I was going to do the Metallica tune, and then at the end it was everybody get up there. So it was fun.
Let me ask you a question, Phil, real quick. As far as like when you were, I know you went over to and you played with, except for the Vulcan, as far as all the Vulcan, but is that how you say it? Vulcan or
Vulcan.
Anyway,
Mm-hmm.
Vulcan. But anyway, you did the symphony, the symphony deal, and you were on the CD and all that, and the DVD and all that bullshit. But anyway, once you got through that, how did it transpire that then you went to playing those shows with Wolf and Christopher and everything, and then you became now a permanent member as of for now? I mean, once you guys start playing again, you're going to be out with Accept playing these gigs.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, I mean, how did that transpire? I mean, how did that go?
So I got a call, and the tour was in the spring of 19 of last year, and we're talking about the Symphonic Terror Accept tour, right. And it was Accept and an orchestra, full 2-hour show, half Accept songs, half classical pieces, orchestra on the whole thing, and Uwe, their regular guitar player at the time, a rhythm guy, he had a conflict. He couldn't make some rehearsals, and so Wolf is at that point. Wolf was like, "No, so we're going to do this. We're going to get him in there." And Uwe was having some health stuff too. I think some operations. I think from a wreck or something. And so they called me, and it was funny because the day they called me, my ACE schedule had just opened wide up. Everything wasn't happening. So I was like, Yeah, I got the whole spring open. So what do you got? So it was 6 weeks total of shows, 3 weeks, some time off, and then 3 weeks, some time off, and a couple of one-offs. And I really liked working with Wolf, and of course Christopher I've worked with forever. And I was thrilled to do these shows because it was all Europe and Eastern Europe, and it was all these amazing venues, all these actual classical theaters like symphony halls and things like that, and some really, really historic venues. Played Circus Krone in Munich, where the Beatles played in '66, and played in Bulgaria, played a Roman amphitheater built in 90 AD. So it was like all these things, like, oh my God, absolutely, I'll do them. And it just went really well. It went well on stage, went well off stage. Everybody got along. I fit in with the crew, with the band, and I think towards the very end of the shows, Wolf had kind of hinted and things like that, but didn't get officially asked until we came home from that tour. And I met Wolf at the Thai place that we would always go to and eat, and then we'd go practice the songs. And that's when he kind of asked me, do you want to be in the band? I was like, I was hoping you were going to ask me to dance. So thanks. Yeah, I'd love to go with you. So yeah, I was stoked.
Cool. Wow. Yeah, like I said, Wolf's been one of those people. I saw them except open for Kiss. My first Kiss show,
Lick It Up tour,
was the last show with Vinny. Yes, and Kiss actually except opened up, and I remember standing next to you. I go on. Who's this band exciting me? They were, and he came out and went out the next day to the mall, bought.
What, Dennis?
He's stuck.
Man, you gotta start over, dude.
I mean, the dude is
frozen.
I mean, am I back?
Since you started talking about Kiss and Accept, we didn't hear anything else from the very beginning of that. It's like
Dennis is like Elsa. He's frozen now.
He's out.
Sorry.
That's all right.
So can you hear me now? I'm frozen again?
Sort of. All right. Hey, I do have a question. Maybe we can get him to get fixed because Alan's muted.
Bill, before you say anything, I just got to say this to Dennis, if he can still hear me. The way we could hear you would be like us hearing Vince Neil sing a song.
It's for worse.
Good analogy. That's damn good. I love that.
Buffet today.
I'm going to hell for my sense of humor. I know it.
Yeah, we all. So, Phil, I got a question for you from David Cathy, who is a longtime Ages of Rock podcast fan. So,
hey, David.
And a longtime Rock and Roll Residency fan. So, ask if we could have a possible return of the Rock and Roll Residency at Rockin' Pod 4.
Oh, man. I suppose that if we're all available and Chris and Aaron ask us, we can see what happens. So, right. I think as of now, I think we're all home. We'll see what happens. See if Chris and Aaron want to have us back, if it wasn't too dangerous last year. And I thought last year was great. I had a blast last year. So that was a good time. Probably my first one of those to go to. The previous 2 years, we were out with Gene both times. So last year was the first one.
It was definitely good having you guys.
Yeah, it was fun.
It's fun, and it's fun too because we're really pretty generous, right? So we just gave you and Phil, and I mean you and Phil.
It happens.
You and Ryan and Jeremy, the mics, and said, "Here you go. You guys interview yourselves. Have a good time.
Sorry about that."
Oh no, that was a blast.
That was a blast.
Now, what was really
fun? That was
fun,
a lot of fun. Thanks you guys for doing that.
Yeah,
it was almost as good as the first year we did it.
Well, that was in Indianapolis with Christopher Williams and A.T. Brown.
And A.T.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Get talking. You're never going to get your microphone back.
15-minute conversation about fart machines and all kinds of crazy shit. It was hilarious.
Totally. Oh man, that was a fun one too. The indie expos were way fun. Those are really fun. So we're doing the Cruise Fest Expo again this year. Ace is booked, and the All Star Band is booked, which is Ace's band. So we're doing that again in Florida right before the cruise. So we're booked on that. Bruce Kulick's doing that. So that'll be a good time too.
Cool.
Unfortunately, I'm going to miss that cruise because assuming that all the cruises are back in business as usual by then, my wife and I are going to be on a Hawaiian Island cruise.
Oh, that's not too bad.
Yeah.
You've done the Kiss one.
Do what?
You've done the Kiss one. I think you're good.
Oh,
you're good.
And I couldn't have picked a better Kiss cruise to go on because that's when I got to watch Gene totally bone up. He didn't bone up the lyrics to Larger Than Life, but he boned up the cadence. That was pretty funny.
He did. You know what I think what I think he does is he remembers the demo version.
That probably
because
so.
Because he would always sing when we were doing Got Love for Sale with him. He would sing the right words most of the time, or most of the right words, but his phrasing was always weird. And so when I got the vault, the demo version is on there, and he sings it just like that version. And think about it, he'd been remixing and digging up all the vault tapes, so he had that fresh in his mind and didn't go listen to the recorded version because he probably recorded it and just didn't listen to it again. I mean, I do that.
That would really make sense.
And so I think he does that because he was pretty good with everything else with us, phrasing wise, except that one. He was definitely different on that one, but it was the same different every night. So it was like he's singing another version. And also on Domino, he sang the demo words on Domino. So another thing he did,
and it was funny
the vault.
Because when he did the Unplugged, he sang the demo words to Going Blind. When he talked about
really, I didn't notice that.
The girl
God.
from the land beneath the sea, that was in the demo that way.
Yeah. Hey, cool Unplugged fun tidbit at SIR in Asheville, the studio rehearsal place. Mm-hmm. Gene's bass from Unplugged is, you can rent that. It's here.
Wow.
At the one in Nashville. Not just a Kramer Like It, the one he played on the show. So Kiss.
That's a great show. That was a great show.
History to, yeah, great show and great record, and that was a great moment in history for sure.
For sure. And Paul probably at his peak. That was like,
oh God,
so
good,
yeah.
So good.
I Still Love You just gives me chills, man. You listen to that song, it's like, my
incredible.
God.
I was talking about yesterday. I did a live stream from the Gene Simmons Vault Amsterdam page, and we're talking about the first Kiss shows. And my first Kiss show was Revenge, and I remember Paul just the Revenge record is he's singing excellent, sky high at his range, but the live just destroying it. He was absolutely incredible then, and a little bit younger than me, but he was probably in his early 40s at that point, right? Or late 30s, or I'm trying to think how old.
No, he's probably in his early
42,
40s. That's probably right,
something like that.
Yeah, but just absolutely, just so good, and they're unplugged too. It's just what a good performance.
So your first show was Revenge?
92, November 8th in Huntsville, Alabama.
Can you guys hear me now?
Revenge.
Unfortunately, yes, Dennis.
But you're frozen on my screen though.
Yeah, it's kind of frozen still.
Well, Dennis and Bill's.
That's probably
one
of
my favorite
songs.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. But on the live thing, it looks funky. But can you? Yeah, I don't know what the hell's going on. I probably got. Yeah. Who knows?
Technology is wonderful.
Yeah. So that's one of my Revenge is probably that's one of my favorite tours. I mean, just the show, the set list, just the group was like tight as they could be.
So tight. They were so tight. It was great. It was great. There was no glitter, no pastels anymore. It was playing cool guitars, and I forgot they had played I Want You that night. I looked at the set list from Setlist FM website, and the I Want You was on there, and Love Gun was on there, and like so many cool things were on there that maybe not have made the Alive 3 album. So yeah, that was a good time to see him. It was great.
Revenge was my
It was
second.
it was Trickster, Great White, and Kiss.
Yep.
Was the lineup that I saw.
That was the second time I saw Kiss. The first time was at Roberts Municipal Stadium in Evansville on the Crazy Nights tour.
You know, that isn't a stadium.
Yes.
Yeah, Crazy Nights, man. Ryan's, I think his first one was Creatures. Jeremy's first one was Creatures too.
I'm jealous of those guys.
Yeah. Ryan was all bummed because he's like, "Who's this guy?" He didn't know Ace wasn't going to be there, and he was like, "Is Ace wearing different makeup?" And I was like, "That isn't Ace.
That's not Ace. It's not tall enough, and
Yeah.
it's not fat enough."
And
Even when Ace was still
playing
skinny.
like crap.
Well,
Yeah.
even when Ace was still skinny, he was fatter than Vinny.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, Vinny was a rail.
Yeah.
Way more notes.
My first show was January 23rd, 1978. So mine was a Live 2 tour.
Oh my God! Wow.
Yeah.
Where were you
In
again?
Evansville, Indiana.
Roberts
Evansville,
Municipal
okay.
Stadium.
Roberts Municipal Stadium.
Damn it,
And
stadium.
here's the deal. We lived like
it says
2
it
blocks.
right there, stadium.
Yeah, we lived 2 blocks from the stadium, and it snowed that day. And I rode my bike in the snow. They canceled school. I rode my bike in the snow to make sure the trailers made it.
Awesome. Stories like that make me. I'm so happy that I grew up when I did, and I got to experience some of that kind of concert going. And I think I might have been on the tail end of it, or almost the tail end of it. One of the last generations that can have stories like that about what concerts meant. They smelled different, not just because there was weed everywhere, but it just smelled. And I like to bring this up while I'm talking about it. Why does people smoking pot at an old concert like that smells different than I've ever smelled pot anywhere else in my life? It has this weird in the old arenas. It's had this sweet smell. It was always like, what? I've never smelled that since. It's only in those places.
It's funny you say that because I have people that like we go to a show and they're like, "It smells like skunk. Do you smell the skunk?" And I'm like, I don't remember it smelling that way back in the day.
It didn't. I swear. I mean, I guess it was all just dirt, seeded, compressed,
No, they put shit in
compressed
it. Shit.
But
I don't
yeah,
know.
I mean, it
So,
didn't
we're live
smell
now.
like that back then.
Probably
It didn't
fired
smell
now,
like
so.
that back then. It was so different.
All right.
One thing we started talking about yesterday about Kiss shows, and if you could time travel to any Kiss tour, what would you go see? And mine was probably the first Destroyer show, because that's kind of the most mysterious Kiss stage show that they ever had, because things got taken away that didn't work. But I think in the early part of the tour, they ran with everything. They tried it. So I would love to see the first Destroyer show, to see all the stuff they had.
Yeah.
That's mine. What was yours? What's you guys?
I really didn't have one until you said that, and that makes good sense.
Yeah.
If I could go back to a show I didn't see, I'd
Mhm.
I'd like to see a show in Cobo Hall, an early show, just because it's, you hear so much about it, you've seen so many pictures, and it's just, they just were so raw, and it just balls out, let's go. It didn't matter, and it was cool. I mean, it was just, we don't care if you like us or not. We're going to come in there and melt your face, and
yeah.
And it didn't matter. And that would be something I would like to go back and see. And I know we've seen videos of it, but to be in there, and I think that's people that don't go to shows, you don't get that feeling. And it doesn't matter even if you go to a show today, as compared to before. But I mean, in the a long time ago, even going to a show today, I just love to go to shows. I love to go to live shows.
Yeah.
Because you never know. It's organic and shit happens. I mean,
yeah.
I was at a show a couple weeks ago and shit happened. I mean, it's just
I really
crazy.
like it. Jesus, who's texting me? I really like it when they have shows in Nashville at the Municipal Auditorium, which is where everybody, in the 60s, the Stones played. Everybody's with us in the 60s. So I love going to shows there because it still looks and feels and smells like those old shows do. So.
Well, my favorite video is the Winterland 75 show. So, I wouldn't mind going back and see one of those shows.
That's awesome. And like the talk about Cobo Hall, the Cobo Hall 76 is one of my favorite video concert videos. I think did they put that out on the Kissology, or was that one of the bonus discs?
I think it was a bonus disc.
Yeah,
because I got that one. And man, they're on fucking fire. It's just so good. It's like, oh yeah, they couldn't really play. It's like, watch this. That's a band that's just they were a well-oiled machine at that point. They were just on fire. So yeah, I love those. Winterland is great. That's an awesome show.
Hey, Dennis is back.
Dennis is back,
buddy.
and looking clear too.
We can't hear him though.
Microphone.
No, his mic's not working. He's got damn it.
And I'm clear. God damn. I tell you what, I got everybody else in the house that actually is using Wi-Fi. I said, stop it. Whatever you got to do.
Get off of there. Yeah.
That's funny. Kelly must not be home yet because he wouldn't tell her to stop it.
No, she's cooking and actually out to get something. Just real quick, going back to what I was saying before, I saw Kiss, like I said, except the first time at whenever Vinnie Vincent's last show. But I saw that show and Wolf blew me away.
At Roberts Municipal Stadium.
Yes. And I went to and I went to not the stadium. It's not a stadium. But anyway, went to the mall the next day and bought a Balls to the Wall and have been an Accept fan since then. I mean, Wolf's playing just always blows me away because Wolf's always been one of those people where I'm not a great guitar player and I never claim to be one, but when I do play leads, I'm not one of these, a million mile a minute Yngwie Malmsteen kind of people.
Yeah.
Play each note like it means something. And that's one thing that I always liked about Wolf was when he plays stuff, it's very classical. Has a classical influence. And when he plays it, I mean, he can play a million notes a minute, but he doesn't have to. Everything's melodic. It's very, and it sounds beautiful. And like I said, I've been a fan of his for many years, and I envy you to be able to play with that man on stage because
it's pressure, man, every night because he's still that fucking good. He's that good every night. So it's a lot of pressure. I'm like, I've got to play as good, and he has amazing energy. He's in great shape. He's in great health. I'm like, damn it, you're 15 years older than me. It's not a competition, but it's like it's healthy. You're like, okay, I got to be that good. Well, I got to stand next to him, and that's when you mentioned the classical thing with this playing. That's why the symphony thing with Accept worked so well. It worked, I think, better than most bands that have done that. Their music had always had a classical structure to it. With classical, he would go into classical, well-known melodies in his solos, and Metal Heart is da 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 da. His For Release in there. So all these things went that so well, and that's why the symphony thing was so great. And we did film a DVD in Bulgaria, and I really hope that comes out because it was just so cool because it was seamless. The arranger that he worked with, Melo Mafali, great Italian guy, a great composer, arranger, worked with Wolf, and he got it because he was a big Deep Purple fan. Melo and I would always riff Deep Purple stuff in sound check and everything. So he got what needed to be done, and he was just great. They worked together and put together a great combination of two music worlds, and it worked great. But yeah, man, it's a big deal playing with him every night. It really is. It's a lot on. I put a lot. Don't take it for granted. It's an honor, and I want to be, as good as that guy. And that's my goal, with him. It's like, okay. A lot of pressure.
Just tell him that there is a guy named Dennis in Indiana who is a huge fan. One of these days I'm going to shake his hand because I do like that guy. I mean, he's been a great guy. And like I said, and with you too, because I've missed out on some of the conversations. So I'm just going to kind of backtrack just a bit. You've been as far as we've seen you play with Gene Simmons. We've seen you play with Ace Frehley. We've seen you play with, the Rock and Roll Residency. I mean, playing songs that are just fucking unimaginable. But every time I've met you, dude, you've been the nicest and the most gracious person I've ever met. I mean, as far as, I mean, you remember names, you remember people. When I saw you, one time you said, "Hey, I just talked to Alan. He's going to be," And the thing is, I appreciate that, and people do appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason not to be. I mean, I am, every bit the same person that before this. The past few years have been pretty amazing in my life, and I know that. I'm very grateful for it, and it isn't lost on me at all. But I mean, there's no reason to change once things start happening, because good things happen to good people for a reason, and good things happen to, if things are happening for you, it isn't a good idea to change a lot, just become better at certain things maybe, but there's no reason to change your personality and all of a sudden become like a, prima donna and, as in before Madonna. Pre-Madonna, not post-Madonna. There's no really,
and everything was so much better pre-Madonna, actually.
we're still like in Madonna times. But yeah, there's no reason for that. I mean, I'm always going to be the same. I'm always going to be a music fan. I'm always going to be excited about what I'm doing. Hopefully, there's just no reason to do anything. I'm still the same person, and I know Ryan and Jeremy feel the same way. And it's like when you come up and say hey to us, I've been kind of wanting my whole life and wanting to be in a position like this where folks ask me to be on shows like you guys and go around and like, hey man, I saw you in the thing. It's like, hey, you know what? Good, thanks for coming. I've kind of been wanting this my whole life, so I'm not gonna turn my back on it when it actually kind of does happen on a very small scale. But my life's pretty cool, and I have a good time and meet a lot of nice people, get to talk to people, get to travel around, and I've got no reason to complain whatsoever, or no reason to be an asshole.
No, and all you guys are like that. I mean, every one of you, you've been really nice.
Yeah,
we enjoy your.
Yeah, we've said it before on the show. I mean, we've had of all the guests we've had on the show, we've not really ran into. I don't think we've ran into anybody that was, anything but very, nice and willing to be on and cool about being on. And that's the thing. It's you always hear about these people that are, that way. And it's, it's kind of weird. It's like, why are you?
Well, now word travels so fast. If you're on one of these shows and you're a jerk.
Yeah.
Well, everybody knows you're a jerk. There you go. You can't really hide your true colors. It's like these shows are really cool because with you guys, it's us just sitting around talking about music, hanging out like we would anywhere. And if you're a jerk, you're going to be a jerk doing that too. So people are going to know it. Your cover has been blown. So there you go.
Let me interject here. We've got another comment. Chris Vickery says, which show did we see together, Alan? Damn, Chris, I don't know. I've seen Kiss in Evansville in 1987, 1997, 2000. I've seen Kiss in Louisville in 1996 and 2000, and last year I've seen them in Nashville 2 or 3 times.
Oh, we saw you guys in Louisville.
You saw me at Louisville.
Yep. Saw him.
Yeah. Yep.
We were there. We just weren't all together. We were all like in different places.
That was way up.
That was the first one that we saw. That was the first one that we saw was in Louisville.
Yeah.
So I got a question too. Are you finished, Alan? Oh, you're muted.
Alan's muted.
Chris replied that it was in Nashville with John H. I know who he's talking about now. So now I think I know who Chris is. Kidding. Kidding. Gosh,
so I got a question.
That was a long time ago. Ask your question, Bill.
All right. So this is from Craig Osborne. Says, what new band is Phil listening to?
Awesome. Well, Craig, I want to say I love your band with your brothers Jeffrey and Ozzy, brothers Osborne. I think you guys are great. Keep on pumping out the good music. I'm sorry. What was the question? I'm sorry.
What new band are you listening to? Is it Brothers Osborne?
Yeah, it is. Lucifer. The new Lucifer album is fantastic. It's their third record. If you like, it's very the Sabbath. The Sabbath influence is there. Early Boister Cult is there too. That and Uriah Heep. Yeah, Lucifer 3. It's called. They're great, and I got to play with them in January on their 2-week tour of America. I got to fill in for bass guitar. So yeah, the record's fantastic. Sounds great. Great. The songs are awesome. That band is everything. The name fits the sound. The look fits the name and the sound. It's like one of the few bands that like has the great package. It's like everything fits together. The look, sound, and name. They're great, and they're great people too. That was a fun tour.
Cool.
And it just came out a couple days ago, so you can mail order it from their website, Facebook page. So just came out, brand new release.
Well, I have a question.
So when you did that tour with them, can you hear me? I guess I'm out.
Yes, I can hear you. We can hear you.
Did you go to the Jeff Tate show at the Exit Inn?
I did not.
You missed a good show, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, me and Brian Harris and David Cathy all went. Courtesy of Brian, thank you, by the way.
That was towards the end of public gatherings.
Mm-hmm. That was the end of public gatherings.
That was the day before our show was scheduled. That was Friday, right? And then our show was on Saturday, and we had to nix our show. Yeah, that was the end of public.
Yeah. No more.
Gotcha.
That was it.
Go ahead, Dennis. Did you have something?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. I thought I was out. So when you did that tour with Lucifer, was that something that was it an issue with a band member again filling in, or is it something you'll do some more with touring wise?
Probably not anymore. They had a bass player that had just left the group for some medical stuff after they'd already got the visas and everything worked out. So they didn't have the time to get another visa for another European player. So they had to get an American. And I was the first they thought of, because I met him on the Kiss cruise and we hung out, because I went and saw the band because I'd been a fan of Nikke, who was the drummer. He is the main guy in the Helicopters, the main writer, singer, guitar player in the Helicopters. I've loved them for 20 years. So Nikke was kind of a musical hero of mine. So I went to see them because he was in it, and then fell in love with the band. It's like, this is right up. I mean, it's right up my alley. It's like I like everything about it, the songs, the look, everything I liked. So I talked to him afterwards. We became friends with the band, and after that, and I was actually in Stockholm when I got a message from Johanna, the singer, asking me if I was available in January for the tour, and I said, yeah, I'm actually in your town. So then I ran into him that night. We were going to two different shows. I went to see Y&T there with some friends, and they were going to a death metal show. They're going to see Dismember, and the venues were right next to each other pretty much. So when my friend Ita and I were leaving Y&T, we ran to the corner, and there's Nikke and Johanna. And I was like, well, hey, guys, how are you? So we stopped and chatted and got the tour there. So, yeah. Just filling in. I was happy
in the right place, the right time, the right country.
Yeah, exactly. Totally talking. Met him on the Kiss cruise. Had remained in contact with them. Loved the band anyway. Had already knew the albums and knew the music, so it wasn't a big deal of, getting the songs together. It was great. I was happy to do it. And I actually, the shirt that I wear with Ace, the denim shirt with the white fringe. So I know everybody thinks it's Ozzy, but I got the idea for that shirt from their bass player that I saw on the Kiss cruise. Alex is a great guy. And I met him and I saw him play, and I told him, I said, I'm going to steal your shirt. I'm going to have one made. And he goes, go ahead. Awesome. Do it. So I had the shirt made. And then when I got the Lucifer gig, the temporary gig, I thought, well, I already got the shirt. I have to wear it now in honor of Alex. So I wore it every single night. And by the end of 2 weeks, the shirt could play the set by itself. So
the shirt could probably stand up by itself.
It can stand up and play the bass better than me. Because there's a trick that you can do. You can spray if you can't, because it's got leather, it's got suede fringe on it, right? You can't wash it. So if you spray it with vodka, it takes the odor out. Well, that doesn't work for a guy after 2 weeks. It sweats like me. So yeah, it's still waiting to be taken to the leather cleaner. I can wait for a little bit, but yeah, that was.
You do sweat a lot. I mean,
I am the sweatiest guy on stage, regardless of temperature or who I'm on stage with.
No.
By song 2, I'm dripping. I don't know what it is. I mean, I don't know if I work harder, if my body temperature is just higher, but I mean, like, I sweat so fucking much, always. Sleeveless,
my wife
jackets,
will put me up against. My wife will put me up against you because I can come out of the shower and 2 minutes later I'm sweating. I mean, seriously, I just sweat. I always tell her, like, that guy sweat, and
it's terrible. So. I'll look over and Jeremy's still perfectly coiffed and feathered, and I'm just like, "Hi, buddy. Oh goodness, what's his name or her name?"
Her name is Hannah.
Al.
Oh, Hannah. Is that a Bijan?
It's a Bichon. That's correct.
Yep,
You're one of the few
exactly.
people who's got that correct. Everybody's like, "What kind of poodle is that?" It's not a fucking poodle.
Because Hannah has the same haircut that my Bichon Jake used to have.
Well,
so,
I have 3 Bichons.
Oh my God! So do you ever? They can never be house trained, right?
Oh, those are the greatest dogs ever.
But Jake pissed in his cage. Jake would pee everywhere.
Well, Bo will pee anywhere if we let him.
He hated it.
We have.
He was the worst.
We have 2
he was a
female
boy,
Bichons,
though.
1 male Bichon, and when my dad passed away, I inherited a Puggle. So I have 4 dogs now.
Oh,
yeah.
So between the girl and boy Bichons, is the boy way worse about peeing places?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's just a male thing.
Well, and you know, he actually didn't start.
Oh my God.
He didn't start behaving that way until the Puggle moved in. Yeah.
Really?
But the littlest Bichon, which was the first one here, she's the boss, and everybody knows it.
Sure, of course. Oh, that's great. Hi, Hannah. Hi, buddy.
Yeah, Hannah.
He needs to buy a mutt shirt.
Hannah is my baby. Well, speaking of mutt shirt, I was going to ask you about your mutt merch.
I think you need some mutt merch. Absolutely. So if anybody hasn't watched before, I've got a clothing line called Mutt Merch that is dog and music themed. And we have all kinds of great shirts like Aerosniff, Muttley Chew, Sergeant Pupper's Lonely Mutts Pup Band, Black Labbath, Notorious P.I.T., Neuterhead, all kinds of things. Shirts for humans and dogs, so you can match. So I'm kind of taking this downtime. I feel I don't really want to put a lot of for sale things out just because everybody's kind of feeling, the world is shut down. So I'm kind of using this time to prepare for when we're not shut down. We have a website, muttmerch.com, if anyone wants to check it out. And on Facebook and all the things. But I want to get an Amazon store. We're on Etsy. I want to get an eBay store as well. And we're also kind of brainstorming for some new products, maybe some patches, some stickers, some smaller dollar items. So we're still working, still slugging along and trying to make this thing happen. Keeping, positive as best we can. So have a shout out to Nene, Janae Townsend, who's my helper in that. She helps me with social media and the website, and she's invaluable. I could not have done any of this newer website stuff without her. She's great. She's the best. She's the bee's knees. So thanks, Janae. Here's hopefully that when we all get out of this, we can get back to our normal selling of ourselves. And I just feel weird about doing all that stuff now. It's just like everybody's the whole world is in the same boat.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. It's like this is like the leveler. We had no idea what it was going to be, but this is like, no, you're all in the same boat. It's all.
The crazy thing is, my dad's 70. He'll be 70. I think he's 75 now. And I remember his mom, which she passed away. About 10 years ago, but she was in her 90s. And we would sit, I remember as a kid, and she would talk about, through the Depression, she lived all through that stuff. And you hear these stories about how tough it was back then. They were doing this and doing that, and we had nothing. We were reusing everything. We were recycling everything. We were doing it. And like, oh, thank God we never go through some kind of thing like that and hold up in our house. And it's like, well, you know what? My dad at 75 is going, you know what? I've seen a lot, but I've never seen this. He goes, I would have hoped I'd never seen something like this.
In a way,
it's
we're doing
things
it.
that we're living.
It's kind of a glamping version of that. It's like we're not to complete hardships. We were all, our power's still on, and we're sitting here talking through technology, and and all we got to do is stay home and watch TV, and we're fucking that up. Which I can't. I can't believe that people are still going to hey, we're going to be doing this live band stream tomorrow. It's like, your musicians aren't immune to this thing. We've had people asking like on the residency page, ask us to do, hey, how about a band stream Tuesday? Have you not been paying fucking attention? We can't. Right. We're supposed to stay home. Like nobody can even fucking watch Netflix. How easy can it be? I realize everybody's under a lot of stress with bills, and I am too. And I'm no different than anybody else. And we're all having these kind of problems, kind of sinking in, going, how long are we going to be shut down? But for the time being, I think we're going to get help. People are going to give some forgiveness with some bills, hopefully. But all we got to do in the meantime is stay the fuck home and watch TV or get on social media and don't go get your necessities, come home.
And
don't
wash
go
your
hang out with
goddamn
people.
hands.
Wash your goddamn hands. And people and we can't do it. People can't they're fucking up watching TV. We're so dumb. It amazes me that people are still announcing, hey, going live from this place tomorrow with these people. It's like, are you fucking kidding me? Just do what you're supposed to do. You're not immune. God.
Well,
sorry.
And then you got these and then you got these jackass fucking college students going, you know what? I waited all year for my spring break, and we're gonna go to the beach. Fuck, we're all. But you know what? Them motherfuckers are gonna go home, and be with their parents and their grandparents, and they're gonna end up killing somebody. Just grow the fuck up.
I know. It is. Everybody's so self-centered. Nobody. I hate to say this about a generation, but it seems like they're just way more self-centered. And it's like, no, it isn't about you. Even now they're saying, well, if you're young, you might not get over it. Because I know it. I think at Vandy here in Nashville, there's some younger cases coming in that are pretty serious.
They had a teenager tonight I saw recently.
Yeah, teenagers, younger people are coming in and doing that, and like it's getting serious. And it isn't just like, well, you're going to give it to your grandparents, they're going to get sick. It's like they're easier to get really ill from it, but now younger folks are too. It's kind of, I don't know if we're looking at a mutated thing. Who knows? Who the fuck knows? And all you got to do is stay home.
Well,
just stay home.
My friend Jamie Carlson just posted a comment that said wine and music is the answer. Cheers. Jamie has spoken the gospel. Everyone pay attention.
The finest, only the finest card Bordeaux. The finest card Bordeaux of all. So. That's what I've been, and I've been cooking here. I've been cooking in. I've been getting out to get groceries. I've been having local restaurants delivered, like Uber Eats and Grubhub have cut the delivery fees for local restaurants. So it's a good time now to try some new things. Tomorrow, I'm going to get some things from Wine Down Nashville. They're doing wine service also. Now in Nashville, liquor stores can deliver. You can get you can go pick up and they can deliver kind of. Yeah.
Dude.
Damn, I think
we're moving to Nashville.
And so there's a lot of places that are really doing what they can to help out, and I'm trying to save some frozen food for if the shit really hits the fan,
Right.
I don't know. Who knows?
Well,
So I'm kind of getting some things. It's a good time to try out some new local restaurants, and they're really making it easy. There's some of them are staying open for curbside for pickup too, for curbside pickup, where you just kind of like get it taken to you, so you don't go inside. And then they're also Uber Eats and Grubhub and DoorDash are all doing just leaving it at your door. The contactless delivery, just
Right.
like dropping it off and leaving. So
Well, I think I'm going to start my own food delivery service. I'm going to call it the Food Dude.
nice. Nice.
I took some food to my mother-in-law the other night, and when she come out to the car to pick it up, I was like, "Food Dude delivery at your door."
Yeah. And in Portland,
Going,
in Portland, I think Portland, Oregon, maybe Maine, Portland, I don't know which one. Sorry. But there's some out of work strippers delivering food with boober
I saw
eats.
that.
I saw that.
I saw that. And then I saw a meme where you
Good
could
job,
get,
ladies. Good job, ladies. I love
I
it.
saw a meme where you could order a Hooters girl in the trunk. She was delivering too.
I mean, sorry,
So
Hooters
anyway,
wings. Hooters wings are amazing. I'm sorry, they're the best. I love Hooters wings
they are the best.
so much.
So we had a place here. My wife ordered a bunch of food from tonight, and I won't mention the place, but so I called them this morning. They had curbside service, what have you. So I called this morning, paid through my credit card, and the first thing the girl did when she picked up the phone, she's coughing, and I'm like going, oh. So I got the food. And the girl came out, gave me my food at the car. So I got home. I shit you not. Now my wife is a healthcare worker, so we know how to do shit around here. I brought that shit in the garage, and I took a Clorox wipes and I wiped every container down the best I could and threw the bag away. And then the gloves that I had on, I threw them in the. We live like that now. I mean, we have to live like that. I mean,
it's
being
wild.
with a health worker. I know.
Exactly.
Crazy.
And anytime you go to the grocery store, it's like I'm not wearing the mask, but every time I go to the keypad, I was like, I forgot my gloves. Shit.
I do this.
Yeah. And the gas pumps. I mean, it's all a thing,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we've been in the grocery store a couple of times. You see people with their mask, and their mask is down over their mouth.
But they're
Absolutely not helping you. This is a total respiratory droplet issue here, people.
Yeah, totally.
Wearing the mask over your mouth and your chin, not helping you at all.
It's like a goatee or something.
It's totally not.
The worst thing you can do is be behind somebody with a mask, because whenever they cough, it blows out the back. The guy in front of me, last time I was at my grocery store, is this old guy, and he's just constantly coughing, doing it. And this girl who's a checkout lady, I know her. The dude left, and she looked at me, and she got out the bottle of stuff, and I'm like going, thank you so much. And I'm just rubbing myself. She's like going, we need to rub down hard. She's with me.
She offered to do what?
Let's just take a bath. We're gonna
Can you get my back, please?
You missed a spot.
Hey,
a little lower.
Hey, fellas.
Suntan lotion with sanitizer.
Yep. Hey, fellas. Jamie told us to stay away from the strippers. And she called us gentlemen, so I told her she had us confused with someone else.
Well,
they're in Portland, so we really can't.
I don't think they're not doing. We don't have a Hooters here, so I don't have to worry about that, or a strip club. So we're good here in Columbus, Indiana.
For now, for like $1 bills or anything, can you do like toilet paper rolls for $1 for lap dances?
No, I think you just use like an AMT slip, an ATM slip or something. I think.
I saw a meme about this very thing, and I forgot what it was, but somebody had already figured that out.
Yep.
It was very. It came pretty early on in this whole thing, and I was one of the first ones I saw. I was like, "That's pretty clever."
All right, can you guys see this? So you probably can't see this. David Cathy.
Oh my God! Yeah.
Cow strip dancing on a pole.
What is
that's hilarious.
It's a cow dancing on a pole.
Oh.
There you go. That's sexy. Like
that's
7
sexy.
up. That's just disgusting. Grow up now.
Oh Lord, I think that we've derailed something.
We always derail on this show.
I know.
So I do have a question for you though. Is there anybody that you haven't played with yet that you really want to play with, that if that's the person that you would drop everything and just run off and go for?
Oh, for like gig wise?
Yeah, gig wise.
I mean, it's lofty, but McCartney. I mean, that would just be like that's kind of the penultimate for hire gig anyway. Is if you play for McCartney, it's just amazing. As far probably for I'll do this for as far as residency guests that I really wanted to have. I can think of a few. Steven Tyler. We never got Tyler when he was in town. I would have loved to have Steven. Billy Gibbons was in town a lot. I never quite got him. And we got the rest of Black Star Riders, but we never got Scott Gorham. And Scott's one of my favorites of all time. And so it would have been cool to play with Scott. So all the people that had came through there and all the gigs I've had, it's like those three guys are kind of up there, realistically speaking, the ones that we could have had. Those three guys, I think, would be it. But yeah, McCartney, cool. Gig-wise, McCartney, and I really can't think of anything else. Anybody else? Like, I've got pretty cool gigs as it stands. So Well,
the cool thing is, I mean, the guys you play with, they're all cool guys, people in Nashville, that group that you're associated with, and all those great musicians. I mean, you played with. If you do the six things of separation, Kevin Bacon, you guys have played with just about.
Now I'm 1 degree from Kevin Bacon because my friend Tim Tucker that played with us. One of his original songs was in the new Kevin Bacon TV series.
There you go.
1 degree away from Kevin Bacon.
Wow, man.
You're 1 degree. Well, what I'm saying is, you guys have all, I mean, at one time or another, you motherfuckers have played with everybody. I mean, seriously.
When we started the thing, we had a pretty good network, right? Pretty good network. Now that spider web has just continued to grow, and we have like so many more things. It's cool, like who all we have connections to, not just to get stuff, but like friends and people now that we have invited to come out and play at the show, or did invite to play with at the residency, that have become friends and become like multiple time guests with us. So no, it's just about being cool, being fun, and we represented something that a lot of folk that like everybody loved and everybody wanted to do, because it wasn't like coming to show off. It wasn't like a circle jerk. It was just like, it wasn't a bunch of guys just like, it was more of a hang. It was like everybody just hanging out, listening to good music. And then once it kind of like became its own thing and just kept growing and wouldn't stop regardless of what we did, that's when the community took over. And that's the thing I love the most about that, is the friends I've made and the connections that I see in the scene that came from the residency, like from that. And other folks are doing things like that now, but I just see all these business connections, friend connections, love connections, 2 and 2, come from the residency, and I don't know. I'm more proud of that than like any of the people that I played with, and it's just fun to see that on like local thing and on a local level, and see your friend network grow, and and goodness grow, and good people meeting good people. And I was very proud to be a part of that and a catalyst for all that stuff.
Very cool.
If that answered any kind of question, I kind of
what was the question? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Tommy Starr posted a comment, said Scott's the best.
Hey, Tommy. Scott does rule. Hey, Tommy. Saw him a few weeks ago when we could all still gather together.
Don't gather together now. Just wash your hands.
Exactly. Wash your hands.
Wash your hands, drink your wine, and shut the hell up.
Exactly. Listen to music.
So we had a guest on the other night, last night actually, that'll be coming out, and he's in a 80s tribute band. And I went to the last show they were able to do before the big shutdown. And it was amazing how many, people always try to give them their phone so he can take a picture of them and from the crowd or whatever. And it's kind of a thing that they do. And it's a club kind of gig or whatever. And finally to stop the show, he goes, I am not touching your effing phones. I'm not doing it. Quit asking me. Don't look at me anymore. Don't put them in the air. I'm not shaking your hands. I'm not hugging you. He's like, I'm telling you, wash your damn hands.
Yeah, I've become Gene Simmons. Gene was a fist bump guy, so now it's like that was what he always did. Never shook hands.
Yeah, we didn't know how cool he really was, did we?
That was
with the fist bump thing,
right?
He was a pioneer,
ahead of his time.
You probably should trademark that.
You're right. Oh my God, I'm sure you guys saw it too. Somebody made a meme, and I'm assuming they're not real, but there were 4 masks, and it looked like the Dynasty mouths. It's like, I hope to God those become a reality. I'm like, please, Gene, see these and find somebody to put the money up and get them made. And I'm surprised that the Kiss masks haven't come out yet. I'd buy them. I'd buy them.
Yeah, well, I probably would too. I keep just acquiring more shit.
Hey, I know we're all big Kiss fans and the big Kiss logo behind you, Bill. I want to say hello to Julian Gill and wish him the best recovery. Julian is kind of the Kiss author, in my opinion. His books are the best and most detailed of any that I've read. And we love you, Julian. We hope you to get well soon. And so best wishes.
Yeah, for sure. Get well soon, Julian.
Right on. Hey, Tommy just also posted a comment that said, I've seen Philip many times, talented and exceptionally nice. First saw him doing one of the Kiss Christmas shows at Exit Inn.
Nice.
Which the 3 of us have been to one of those shows, and man, that shit is funny.
And you guys made a great compilation video that I like. If somebody wants to know what it's about, I point them to the one that you guys made.
I'll have to go back on our YouTube channel and find that and repost it. That's definitely worth sharing.
Yeah,
it's really cool. Yeah, that was a good. You guys came. What year did you guys come to that one? It wasn't the last one.
It was the last one.
It was the last one.
Oh, it was the last one.
Because that's the one where you were on stage and you said you had to email Gene Simmons to make sure it was okay for the show to go on.
Yeah. So we emailed Gene and just made sure it was cool because. We didn't make a living doing it. We did it once a year for charity, but I've seen him give some grief to some guys that were in like working bands. And trust me to say this, it was weird. When we got close, it was like, okay, we better check. And he was great. He said, of course. I sent him a link. I was like, we don't suck. So here's a link of us doing a couple tunes. And he said, absolutely. He's like, hey, thank you for the courtesy of asking and have a great show. So he was great. And then we did that one. And then before we did the next one, a couple things happened. We already had it booked before we got the Ace gig. And then we got the Ace gig. So now we're looking at Ace and Gene. We're not under the radar anymore. We're not just 4 Kiss fans. We're as on radar as possible. And also I think we had a date conflict too. We had you know what? We went and did the New Jersey Expo with Ace where we played the solo record. But even before that, it just felt really weird to do it when we're like kind of in like that. And it's weird to say it too. But to do the show, especially me, my role in the whole thing, I was like, I really don't want to go up and do that anymore. I was like, A, pretty out of shape. And B, it's like, I'm going to have to feel like I have to change my whole thing. And I don't know. It just Jerry and I felt weird doing it. And we hated stopping to do it because it was so much fun. And it was once a year we could pull out all the stops and put the sign up and do all the thing. But it just felt real weird. I don't know. It feels weird. It was different when we were like just 4 fans that nobody knew, that was a fun show. And then it all of a sudden went weird,
It was cool for us because we had never seen the Resident Evil. We'd never seen you guys play. And through Christopher Williams, he was the one that told us, he said, hey, come down and check this out in this Kiss show. So we had bought our tickets early and did all this. So we came down, never seeing the residency. We had never seen you guys play or anything. And I gotta tell you, when you came out there, we were just fucking, and Bill couldn't go. So we're texting Bill and sending these fucking videos. Like, going, dude, you're missing it. It's a bitch.
The set lists were great. I mean, we purposely played stuff they never would. You know, we did Acrobat for crying out loud. You know, we did all that kind of thing.
It was great.
And the year that we had booked that we canceled, I felt so bad because Christopher had bought each of us an actual real Kiss makeup kit, like the ones that, not the Kiss ones, but ones that actually they used. I forgot what brand it was, but Christopher found, because Christopher is the most detailed guy in the world with anything. When you get him on a gig, he's going to do the best job imaginable. And so he found the real legit 70s makeup cases that Kiss used. And he put the makeup that we each needed in there. He already got them. It was like, yeah, man, we're not going to do it. It was just like, well, I got you guys makeup cases. It's like, oh my God. I still feel so bad about that. It's like, I love that case. Is so great. I've got the case out. And it's one of the coolest gifts, like Kiss things that I have, is because Christopher got them. And it felt so bad about that. But it turned out we had a date conflict as well. But yeah, it was a really sweet thing he did for all of us. And I'll keep that thing forever, man. I'm never even using the makeup. I'm going to keep it as he gave it to me. That was a super nice thing. That's what kind of guy that he is.
That's cool. Yeah, Alan and I went down there, and like I said, it was kind of a really cool night for us because we showed up a little bit early. We met Chris and him over there at a bar across the street, and we're sitting there talking. And John Corabi walks in, and I'm like, it's kind of with me. It's like I'm not used to that. I'm not a Nashvilleian, so I don't, John Corabi. It's like,
was it the Gold Rush? The Gold Rush.
Correct.
You're at the Gold Rush.
That's right.
Yeah.
Chris and Zach, and we were all over there. And then we walk across the street, and then, of course, Lizzie came in, and we met her, and she took pictures with us. And it was just a really, really cool night. And my mic was actually muted a while ago. I did talk to Julian Gill today, and he is getting better, feeling better. And he says, I hope I'm getting better. He says, I hope you're doing well also. So I called him or texted him. And he says,
good.
I told him that we're all hunkered down. My wife is, works in a hospital. We're all doing it. He says, yeah, it's about they're better for everyone. Talk about the frontline workers and he is doing better, and he's hoping to get better. So
that's awesome. Good deal. Good news. Good news from Julian. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Hell yeah.
And we love you. So get better.
Hey.
All right.
Yeah, I think my parents came to that night too. My parents came to the Christmas show that night.
I remember that.
Actually, I think we saw your parents once too, and that was in Nashville when you play with Ace at the Marathon Marathon Music Center. We're sitting around there having
that restaurant we ate at.
Oh yeah,
was it Hawkins or
Clyde's?
Oh, machine.
Hi-Fi Clyde.
Yes, that's what it was.
Oh yeah,
yep, that's right.
You came in, said hi.
The pinball machine.
Your wife.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
I think your parents are with you too.
With your wife.
Yep, we all went. Yeah, because we were looking for a place around there, and then we walked out there, and there was nobody in there. It was awesome. So it was great. So we had, that's right. Had pre-show dinner there.
Had my son with me at the time, and you come by and sat down and said, "Hey, man, what's going on?" It was like, he's like, "Who is that guy?" I said, "You'll see him later." So when you walked out, he's like, "Holy shit,
that's cool." Some local some Yahoo,
some dude,
local
some
yokel.
long hair wannabe.
Yeah, Hi-Fi Clyde's. That was a good place. That was fun.
Yeah, food was good. It was neat. It was a cool
food's
place.
good. That's a nice place.
That Marathon Music place is cool. I like that. I'd go to another show.
Marathon's cool too. I've seen Robin Trower there. I've seen Anthrax there. Trying to think of anybody else I've seen there. Yeah, I've seen some good shows come through there. It's a good size, that kind of a club where you can still see some pretty good acts in there. Yeah.
The line of the tornado, did it get to the marathon, or was it north of the marathon and went across? It didn't hurt that area?
I don't think marathon. No, it didn't, because I was just over there because I went and got some stuff from Orange. So no, marathon is it was unscathed. So
they got like what, Top Golf and then across that way, right? And
yeah,
then over to
yeah,
the
I did
east
get that.
side.
It was more East Nashville, and then I'm in Hendersonville, so it went south of me, but it kind of went along I-40, and it went to Mount Juliet.
Gotcha.
So it kind of went right along the interstate, kind of. So
wow. Because at first when they talked about that line, I was like, well, it's kind of in that kind of marathon's kind of in that line. I thought,
yeah, I didn't see. I just went over there right last week when we could still kind of go around and do things. There was no damage, and yeah, Nashville got kind of a double whammy. It was kind of a dark mood around here. Was that we had a few days of cleanup, and then it was go home. You know, it was nobody get out. No shows can happen. You know, I don't think any big benefit show happened. The long players had to postpone theirs. We had to cancel ours. Rare Hair had to cancel. So yeah, it was like the rug kind of got pulled out. Like we can't even do anything, and folks are without roofs. It's been raining nonstop here for almost every day. You know, and it's just, you know, it's a kind of a double whammy. It's kind of a dark mood, and then this happened, and the entire music community is going, no, I don't know what we're going to do. Our entire touring season is gone. I mean, it's like not only musicians, but lighting companies, sound companies. Everybody's feeling the effects of this thing. You know, management companies, promotion companies. Yeah, it's done. You know, so it's kind of.
I mean, you think about your concession people, everybody that works any of the venues, your security, concessions, ticket people. I mean, it's just not the bands themselves; it's everybody. I mean, it's taken a hit. I mean, a major.
And to be honest, we were talking about healthcare workers too. It's taking a hit on healthcare workers too, because a lot of I work in a hospital too, and you know we're not seeing the patients we saw. So we have, had to cut staffing because we don't need the same amount of people. We're not seeing the same numbers. You know, the only people coming into hospitals now are people that are pretty sick. So you're not treating them the way you were. You're not getting those outpatients that are just walking in and stuff like that. So you're treating a different level of people. So we're into that. You know, we have a labor pool and stuff like that. And it even affects healthcare. People think that healthcare people are just busier than hell. And trust me, we're busier than hell. But
sure. You're also downside.
There's a segment of those people that are really, struggling a little bit, trying to make sure they can make ends meet, because, you don't need as much of the facility as you normally do, because you're trying to contain things. So it's even a challenge there.
So can you still can Joe Blow get an appointment for something else at this point, or is it pretty much been like, nope, if you're go away?
It depends. No. It depends, because
not life-threatening emergency, obviously, but something.
Well, actually, I was on a call before we got on here earlier today, or in a few minutes before this, and we were talking about a couple different things, and there are patients that don't need emergent care, but they've still been to their doctor and they still need a diagnosis, so they still need to have care. So you have that segment of people that you still have to manage, and you still have to provide care for them, and you have the other people that are just sick, and now, okay, you got to figure out, now, do they have the virus, and if they do, where do they go, and how do you manage all that? But it's just a lot of moving parts, and the challenge, and I don't think people realize this either, is the CDC does a great job of managing stuff, but things change on a daily basis. I mean, I have a meeting and we'll talk about, we're going to start doing this, that, and the other, and then 3 hours later, the CDC's changed it, and they come back a couple hours later and go, okay, what we just told you was sort of true, but now we're going to add this and this. And it gets really, kind of out of sorts, because you get very used to being in a rote situation where it's going to be this way every time. And all of a sudden it's not that way. So, I think, healthcare workers too. I mean, it is a challenge. I mean, I wouldn't want to be riding on an ambulance right now and getting a call, going to somebody's house, because you don't know. I mean,
you know what you're walking into.
Yeah, they all have, they used to send 2 or 3 guys in, and now you hear that, they send 1 guy in, because you're not going to send 2 or 3 guys in, because you can't. because you don't know what you're walking into. So, it's just a challenge for a lot of different people. But, I think that it's funny. I got a meme today. I was very frustrated earlier about some stuff, and a buddy of mine sent me a meme. It says, keep calm and listen to Kiss. So, okay.
Yeah.
Perfect timing. Thanks, buddy.
I think like that into healthcare is one thing, and I haven't seen a lot about this, but I think it's gonna, especially if this lockdown thing continues, the mental health care is going to be a big deal too, because I mean honestly, I haven't been doing that fucking great a lot of days, and I'm just worried about folks that are prone to depression, being locked away if they are alone, or worse with their wife and kids. Sorry. No, it's like if they are alone and can't get out, I'm hoping it isn't like a suicide outbreak. I hate to be pessimistic or bummer sounding, but it's totally a thing. That could really be a thing. It's like I'm just worried about that because, like I said, I haven't been doing the best, and I'm sure I'm not the only one that has been like that. And I'm just worried about this forced confinement on some people, rise of alcoholism after this whole thing. Hopefully people are finding help they need with their meetings, and if I think they're still having some online meetings and things. So that's going to be a deal. Just a lot of things that I haven't seen a whole lot of posts about,
the whole
but
thing
they're going
I
to
saw
kind of
too. No, I was just saying, like even with kids, went to school, trying to get away from an abusive family, and that school was their only outlet,
and that was the only place they ate
with these families,
Yeah. Or it was the only place they had
What are they gonna
lunch, or something. It's like, what are they going to do? Now they're home, and
so
many things that were not
so.
like that aren't on the surface are going to come, are going to bubble up. I think as this goes on.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows how long we're going to be here.
And Dennis,
in this thing,
Dennis, you brought up about abuse or whatever you said. My friend Jamie just commented that domestic violence is a big concern, and yes, suicide rates will rise. So,
Absolutely.
that's kind of something that's been on the back of my mind as well, because I'm not going to mention any names, but I do know somebody that is an extremely abusive person, and they're abusive to everyone, not just people in their homes. So, if this person treats me the way they treat me in public, I can imagine how they treat their family at home when there's no one there to witness.
Yeah, that's all scary shit. And it's like, that's going on all over the world. And so with that kind of worldwide, epidemic, and everybody's in the same boat, and it's like it's like, it's I hate to say it, but it's very, very, very real that, we're probably going to see a huge increase in suicides and alcoholism. So,
watch out for each other. Got to be friends. Got to take care of each other. Yep.
We're on the same. Give everybody a break. Boat. We really are.
We are all riding on the same ship through the universe.
Yes, we are.
Exactly.
Maybe for the first time ever in our lifetime.
Maybe.
We really are.
Exactly.
Yep.
This is a test. I mean, this is a test to see how, they taught our elder generation being able to handle these world depressions and all this stuff. Now it's our time to shine. We need to be the ones to step up and say, you know what, we can handle this shit. We'll fucking get through this.
It is time to put the us in virus.
Exactly.
Yeah. There you go.
on that note,
that's gonna catch on, isn't it?
That is great.
Come on,
catch on.
Trademarked right here.
I want a T-shirt right now.
I want a T-shirt. Let's put the us and virus. Phil Shouse.
And that is awesome. Probably a good place to end this little live broadcast for tonight. I don't know about you guys, but I've got a hungry dog. I have to feed my dog food certain times a day.
Four hungry dogs.
Well, there's one dog that has to be fed special because she has to take different medicines because she has epilepsy. So she was over here. She was over here telling me, "Hey, dude, you're past time. Come on."
It is time to feed Hannah.
It is
Go
time
feed
to
Hannah.
feed Miss Hannah. But yes,
Hello.
All
but
right,
yes, like Phil said, y'all, we put the us in virus. Wash your hands. Do your social distancing. Shelter in place. Whatever your governor's telling you to do it.
Yep, exactly.
Because now I saw a meme that this kind of reminds me of. Do you feel like you're that kid in kindergarten that just about every time you're getting ready to go out to recess, somebody does something and it extends it longer?
Exactly. Exactly.
One more
That's what these
question. I
people
got
are
one more
doing.
question.
Bill's got another question.
Yeah, one more question. No, I'm just kidding.
Good. Well
I'm
played, sir.
hungry.
Well played,
Eat
Bill.
this-
Well played,
I
well
got
played,
fajitas
Bill.
downstairs. I can eat.
Oh, that's great. Oh,
All right,
man.
hang around. Butt
You're
merch.
muted, dude.
Hey, well,
And think
thanks for
about
having
butt
me on,
merch.
guys. I
There'll be some
appreciate
good-
that. Thank you very
there'll be
much.
stuff coming
Thanks
out
a lot.
from.
Alan's just talking away, man. Just
Alan
talking
just
away.
talks
Well, shit, I was
without-
muted again.
You,
Well, the dogs got to
He
hear
does
what
it
I was
so-
saying.
He does it so quick, so well too. He's just like, I don't even know he does it to even warn him. I mean, it's like,
Yep.
like this.
Well,
thanks for your time, man.
yeah.
Appreciate it a lot.
and y'all
Anytime, guys. Always a good time. Thank you guys very much.
check out my
And bless all
merch.
y'all and check it out and stay safe and smart and hope to see you guys soon.
That's right. Peace out, folks.
Later.
Thanks for listening to the Ages of Rock podcast. If you haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, and most importantly, tell all your friends. Remember, you're never too old to rock. Until the next episode, peace out, folks.